Let's go. It's the line movement. Thursday kickoff show, but it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, and the slate has been flipped on its head. I'm here with Joe Holka and Matt LaMarca to break down the 2-game slate. It's such a sick, interesting slate. How we doing, Holka and LaMarca? I am uncaged.
Good God. Pete, what number show is this for you today?
3, and I got 2 more after this, and I have a wife. Hope is not listening. She came in here and made me drink water. She literally watched me drink water. Can you
What a
believe
gal.
that?
What a gal. How are you doing, LaMarca?
Oh, just living the dream. I've been looking forward to dealing with Pete all day, and the first thing he does when he sees me is calls me a beta cuck. So we are ready to go. It is going to be a good show.
That's right. That's right. So, famously, the slate has been flipped on its head. LaMarca, you've done betting previews. Joe, you've done slate stuff. Are you just throwing up your papers and say, I don't care? Where are we at with this slate?
I mean, I think there's still some interesting games to talk about for sure. I'm just bummed, Pete, that we don't get to talk about Marquise Brown anymore because he was just an absolute lock, wasn't he?
He was. Look, LaMarca, because I was going to play him. The Martingale Marquise Brown strategy was going to be undefeated. What was he, like 4,700? I was ready to jam him. All the haters were off of him. Do we trust the process there, or are we going to get stuck on that one?
Yeah, I was excited for this slate just so I could find out who the fake sharps were, aka the ones who were playing Marquise Brown.
Oh, there you go. 2 of them right here then. Pete, what's your Thanksgiving side of choice? You were talking about all this crazy stuff that you guys have going on in your place. There's different kinds of booze flowing, clearly. But is there a GTO side for Thanksgiving? I feel like this is like the argument you have to have on every show. You probably already had it 3 times today, so I want to hear your take.
I've talked about this. Stuffing is my jam. My mother-in-law calls it dressing. I slather it in gravy, unlike Patrick Mahomes, who is apparently slathering his turkey in ketchup. I read that and I was offended. And I said, you are not the best quarterback in the NFL if you put ketchup on your turkey, you sick, perverted. I wouldn't do that. LaMarca, what's your side?
Yeah, if the Thanksgiving dinner was like a showdown slate, I would easily pay $25K to roster stuffing in the captain spot.
Dude, people in the chat are trying to tell me stuffing isn't a side. It's literally the epitome of a side. Turkey is the main dish. What are you're gonna say? You're gonna say stuffing is the main dish? I love stuffing more than anyone, but it is not a main dish, Holka.
I don't know. I think it's good enough to be at least in consideration. One thing that I think has been a little bit, people have been getting on me is I'm not a big mashed potatoes person. I'll say that I definitely want to be I want to be overweight on gravy for sure, but just like mashed potatoes, like I don't know. It's like my lead
gravy aside. Gravy is a condiment.
Sure, but gravy on top of everything, correct? Like be overweight on gravy? Have to be.
Yeah.
No?
Do we have Josh Hermsmeyer gracing our presence in a chat? I do a million shows and I've never seen Josh Hermsmeyer in the chat. Need more fried your drink, to be honest. Takes are coming in weak from Peter. That is right. I famously, literally a year and a week ago, was in Mexico City with Josh Hermsmeyer drinking cocktails with ants in them. And now I'm stuck at home with a national global pandemic talking about a 2-game slate with LaMarca and Holka. How far have we fallen?
I don't know. How long ago was it that you dumped a little bit of pee on your head?
Holy God. I forgot. I think that was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I lost a bet and had to pour pee on my head. So we've all grown. We've all grown.
Oh, God. What a world. Pete, I don't know what's going on with your hamster internet again, but I'm going to keep changing
my internet is good. Do not slander my internet. I've been downloading porn at 4K with no issues. Do not slander my internet.
All right. The people are here to talk about these Thanksgiving games for some reason.
No, they're not. They're here to see me drunk.
That might be
That's
true.
all they're here for.
That might be true. That might be true. Well, the literally, the floor is yours, Pete. I'll put you full screen. We can just like hang out with you being drunk the whole time if you want.
Yeah, Lewis in the chat says Overzet is still running out the flipped on its head joke 3 shows in. Well, look, the second they canceled this Steelers-Ravens game, the first thing I said was, this slate was flipped on its goddamn head, LaMarca. Everything I thought I knew about this slate was thrown out the window.
Yeah, I mean, I was probably less excited for this game than most. I'm a big fan of some garbage Thanksgiving football. So I'm excited to watch Houston and Detroit. I'm excited to watch Washington and Dallas. Let the good teams play on Sunday.
Holka, what's your favorite play on the slate?
My favorite play on the slate is no longer on the slate. We just talked about this.
Marquise Brown, your soldier?
Yeah. No, I guess let me ask you this, Pete. Over under 65% owned Deshaun Watson on the slate.
Over.
Over? Will you be on that train?
I think I'm off it. Now that we're on the 2-gamer, Mr. Galaxy Brain Pete is going to talk himself into a little Alex Smith. I'm trying to win a tournament. I'm not trying to tie with 9,000 of my best friends. So if you guys want to play Deshaun Watson, I'll play Alex the Goat Smith, one of the greatest stories of all time, what he came back from. Yeah, I'm going to be on Thanksgiving. You guys are going to tilt when Duke Johnson rushes it in for 3 touchdowns, and Alex Smith is tossing 75-yard touchdown passes to J.D. McKissick, and I'll be saying, suck it! Suck it! Well, is that analysis?
I mean, it's something. It's definitely something. LaMarca, if we just want to talk about this first game, what are the Sharps doing? Houston at Detroit. 2 very bad teams. Texans on the roads. Pete has already shown that he doesn't want to host, so I'm going to host, I guess.
Holka has taken over.
Holka, I am the captain now. I am the captain.
This game has been mostly Houston to start. 59% of the spread bets, 79% of the spread dollars. That's pushed the line from 2.5 to 3. So the lean here is definitely on Houston. I actually like Detroit though, assuming that they can get some of their skill players back in the lineup. Their practice report has been pretty loaded to start the week. It's not looking great for Kenny Golladay, and Kenny Golladay has actually already now been ruled out. Danny Amendola also ruled out.
Danny Amendola's ruled out. I seriously missed that. I touted it on a previous show. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Lions injury report right now. Swift is questionable, but Marvin Hall, TJ Hawkinson are full practice for whatever that's worth. So maybe they're not getting healthier. Maybe I just want them to be getting healthier.
Is it Quintez Cephas season? It might be. Or is it Agnew?
Yeah, Agnew's the one that Pat Mayo has been bringing up all week.
Wow. Jamal. That's the kind of play you're going to need to make if you want to roster Deshaun Watson at 60% ownership tomorrow.
Pete, how much salary can we leave on the table on this slate?
40,000.
40,000.
Pay down to be contrarian. Everyone's going to be using 45,000, 40,000. Not me. I'm playing Buddy Howell and Mr. Agnew. I'm going to leave 30,000 on the slate. Going to be super contrarian. No one's going to see it coming.
LaMarca, how much salary can we leave on the table?
I think you can probably leave up to like $2,000 on the table.
Yeah, I think that's sharp. This is an interesting game. It feels like the second game is the one that people are going to be on overall, outside of like the main core pieces on Houston, right? So I've talked about it on 19 shows, so I'm not going to talk about the man coverage stuff with Watson, but it is a good spot for him to have a good day on the ground overall. You know exactly where he's going with the ball. Cooks, Fuller, pretty easy. Bring back on the other side as well with Marvin Jones. I guess, Pete, let me kick this one to you. Marvin Jones or TJ Hawkinson? Who have you been touting all day? Because I want you to say the opposite right now.
So here's the deal. Everyone was going to play Mark Andrews. He was the best tight end play on the slate. Now everyone's going to gravitate to TJ Hawkinson. My hat is falling off. It's falling off. It's falling off. It fell off. TJ Hawkinson is going to be the chalk. He's going to be the chalk. And Marvin Jones is going to be the best leverage play on the slate. You just heard it here first. I just gave you the goods. I'm just here on a free show on the Live Movement YouTube channel, which you should subscribe to. And like, who is the host now, Joe? I haven't heard you tell anyone to like the video or smash the subscribe button. I am the host, and Marvin Jones is the leverage play.
Well, Pete, what do you want him to let us know in the comments then, if you're going to be going to take it that far?
In the comments, let us know who's the most perverted play you've made all year.
Anyways, any interest in Kiki on the other side of this one? 4 targets last week, 3 of those in the red zone. He did score. It's going to be thin. We need like one of these thin guys outside of the guys that Pete wants to play, like Jamal Agnew.
Well, do you think Jordan Akins is too chalky? Like, I could see him being the most highest owned tight end as opposed to Hawkinson at just 2,900.
Pete, as they say, correlate your stack with the tight end, right? You've been preaching it all year. I'm kind of with you on that one. I think that people like the Kiki stuff, they think they're just going to walk right into this role with Randall Cobb. Obviously, Stills is out as well. Maybe they just end up playing more 2 tight end sets. Rich Rebar brought that up earlier today. So, yeah, he's so cheap. I could see him being even chalkier than Hawkinson. But now we have all the salary in the world. So in order to probably play Akins, like you probably are leaving a ton on the table.
I'll just say this right now. I think it's a sharp take, LaMarca. I honestly like Akins. If you're playing Deshaun Watson, I think the way to do it is you fade Cooks. You play Duke Johnson, Will Fuller, and Akins. I think that's the way you attack it. But Akins is not going to be the most popular play on the slate. You are drunk. I am sober.
I am not drunk.
You are drunk. You are hammered. If you bet me on Akins being the most popular play on the slate, because I will take the field and I will take your money. I'll take your stupid New York Mets hoodie. You will mail it to me and I will own you, LaMarca.
Yeah, all right. I mean, I don't feel confident enough to put any real money down on Akins being the highest owned tight end.
That's right. Walk it back and don't trip while you're doing it, LaMarca.
We all know I am nothing but a beta cuck. I do think that if you want to be contrarian in this game, like the default build is going to be stack up the passing attacks in this game, stack up the rushing attacks in the other game, right? You know, Zeke, either McKissick or Gibson, and then you go with the passing attacks here. So you could go with, if you want to go backwards build, you go running backs in this game. I mean, DeAndre Swift, we've talked about his role. And if he's going to be back, we know people get a little bit sketched out sometimes playing those guys with the questionable tag designation next to their name. I don't know. Pete, you are the Swift whisperer. What are you thinking this week for Swifty?
People forget there was a lot of people who were down on Swift. And who touted him? Who touted him for the beginning? When no one wanted to tout him, when everyone wanted to jam Adrian Peterson, there was one voice emerging from the rubble. And his name was Peter. And he said, play DeAndre Swift. He's a great play. And guess what? This week, he's a great play again because people don't want to play guys coming off a concussion. They don't want to play guys who are injured. They say, Pete, I need a prove it week. And do you know what I say to you? Prove this. Play DeAndre Swift. I don't know what I'm doing, Joe.
Pete, you're like the most bullish person I've ever seen on Duke Johnson, maybe ever. So you might want to have to back that one up too first.
On Duke Johnson? What have I said about Duke Johnson?
Didn't you just say he's going to score 3 touchdowns?
Did I? I don't know what I say anymore. Do not trust me. I'm literally just saying things. I do not know what I'm saying anymore. Play Buddy Howell. I do not care.
Who is Buddy Howell? Should I know that person?
You don't know who Buddy Howell is and you're a fantasy tout, LaMarca?
I'm not. I never claimed to be. I'm the sports betting guy on this show.
Buddy Howell is the guy who is going to steal the goal line carries from Duke Johnson, and people are going to lose their goddamn minds.
So he's not scoring 3 touchdowns because Buddy Howell's going to come in and take one of them? Or is there 4 touchdowns on the ground in this game that is not Deshaun Watson?
There's 4 touchdowns. This is where the touchdowns are going to go. Buddy Howell's going to get 3 of them, and Jordan Akins is going to get 1. And all of these guys who rostered Deshaun Watson double stacks with Brandon Cooks and Will Fuller are going to be like, I didn't sign up for this. I was playing a really highly correlative double stack. What happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. Buddy fucking Holly happened.
I think Buddy Holly was a singer from back in the day. Here's a different way to look at this game, right? Here's a different kind of question. Now I'll take over the host role.
Since, I love it.
We're just passing it around today.
No host today. Pete has rescinded any host duties on the show in general. So do whatever you want.
What's the chalk guy in this game that you do not want to play in your lineup?
Deshaun Watson.
Oh man, what are the chances of Deshaun Watson not being like the top quarterback on the slate? Very low, right?
What are the chances of you eating that chalk and winning a tournament, Joe?
Probably not very good. These 2-game slates are a disaster anyway. So I'm just bummed, man. I'm bummed overall because I just wanted to play Hollywood Brown. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you play Deshaun Watson, you'll get chalkitis. I'll play Alex Smith and Buddy Howell, and I'll be rich.
All right. Well, who's the pivot between Cooks and Fuller? Like, who would you rather not have, or I guess not be with the field in terms of ownership? Both these guys are going to be what, like over 30%, 40%?
Higher.
Yeah.
Say a number, Joe, so I can go like this.
All right. So if Brandon Cooks is 60%, higher?
I don't know. I was going to do this no matter what.
So who would you rather fade between those two?
So I talked about this on a previous show. Will Fuller's correlation with Deshaun Watson is huge. This is from our friends at Advanced Sports Analytics. He has a 0.66R with Deshaun Watson. So if Deshaun Watson or Will Fuller goes off, like they are going to be like Siamese twins, adjoined at the hip. So what I'm trying to say is I don't like playing the Houston passing game as one-offs. If you're going to play them, you got to stack them up with Watson. So that's why I prefer Duke Johnson and Akins and Kiki if you're going to leverage off of the Watson stuff. I am making way too much sense for being this drunk.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's your best point of the slate right there.
Good for you. If we don't have Swift in this game, who are we playing at running back in this matchup against Houston? Either of them?
None of them.
None of them, right?
My answer is I don't want any Duke Johnson in this game. I know that Detroit has been dreadful against running backs, but so is New England, and Duke was terrible last week. I mean, Duke is not a guy who can who's a between the tackles runner at this point. I think we can say that. So I just don't see a ton of ceiling for him at 5,700. I don't necessarily believe in, Buddy Holly or whatever the guy's in his way into the end zone.
Buddy Holly's a singer, dude. We're talking about.
But at the same time, I don't think you need to play Duke Johnson at 50% ownership.
Good God. Someone trying to send you a head-to-head in the chat right now, Pete? What are we doing in game selection now? Are we scaling back now that it's a 3-game slate or a 2-game slate?
Send me a fucking head-to-head. You know what? I don't ever play cash, but I see the shit you guys want to play on this 2-gamer. Send me a head-to-head. I dare you. I dare you.
All right. Well, anything else on this game, or should we move on to another one? Pete,
let's move on to the next game.
Take the wheel. Navigate us through this 2-game slate right now.
I'm the bus driver, guys. Hey, quiet. Hey, be quiet in the back. Stop throwing your peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. We're trying to get to the schoolyard. I'm turning. This is where my object work because I continue. We're going in a 360. This bus is just literally going in circles right now.
That steering wheel just keeps going. You can keep going one direction. It doesn't stop.
We're back.
Okay.
Let's
where are we at?
Let's talk about the Washington football team and the Dallas Cowboys. Really interesting matchup. One of the most interesting matchups on the slate. And when this slate got flipped on its head, I said, this is really interesting. LaMarca, what are people doing in the betting markets?
Yeah, this is a cool game. I like this game a lot. There's really no edge betting wise. Cowboys getting 54% of the tickets, 54% of the dollars. So basically dead even down the middle. The spread's right. I've seen it 2.5 in some locations. But people, I think, want to believe in Dallas, and I'm not sold yet. I was on Dallas pretty heavily last week, but that matchup against the Vikings was perfect for them. Minnesota doesn't have a great pass rush. They don't play a lot of defense to begin with. Now they got to play against the Washington team that punched them in the mouth the first time these two teams met. I know that Dallas's offensive line has gotten a little bit healthier, but I still think that Washington should be able to control this game with their pass rush.
Who got punched in the mouth?
That would be the Cowboys.
The Cowboys? What was it, like the 1-2?
No, it was a haymaker.
Okay, a little overhand right.
There you go, Superman punch.
Hoka, what's your thoughts on this game? Super interesting game.
I mean, this is clearly the one that could be shooting out of the two, right? Do you guys like the first game better than this one? I think this one's better.
First one, dude, for sure.
Really?
I like all games equally. It's just so fortunate to get NFL games in the COVID season, and I just enjoy them all equally.
Good God.
I just don't think Dallas has nearly the same offensive expectation as the other three teams on the slate this week.
That's fair. One of the top value options that people have been talking about have to be Michael Gallup, but I have no idea what to do with these Dallas wide receivers, right? It's been so spread out. None of these guys over 20% target share. Pete, who's the Dallas wide receiver that we have to play?
All I want to say is if LaMarca is ignoring the Cowboys, send me a head-to-head on DraftKings. My username is RevertCTop. I will roll out a Dalton quintuplet stack against your ass, and let's see how that works out for you.
I'm excited. I'll send it right now.
Please send it right now. Any price point that you want. Let's do it. Sorry, Hoka, what was your question?
Which Dallas wide receiver are we playing here?
Here's the deal. Everyone's going to want to play CeeDee Lamb. They were like, oh, CeeDee Lamb had this cool catch in the end zone. You know what? Let's go back to Michael Gallup. Okay, people forget. 3 weeks ago, he had 12 targets with Ben DiNucci, the Italian king, Mr. Tortellini himself. Is Andy Dalton that different from Ben DiNucci? No.
Did Pete fall asleep?
I think it. Will you pick LaMarca? Will you pick up where I left off?
I was looking up your username.
Send me a head-to-head. I dare you. I absolutely dare you.
Pete,
it's coming right now.
I teed you up to say that none of these guys is the answer. It's Dalton Schultz, right? Isn't that your guy?
Do not talk to me about Dalton Schultz. I was 10 points away from winning $100K in the SPY last week, and I had Dalton Schultz in my lineup. Ben Gretch is out here screenshotting plays where Dalton Schultz was wide open on a 40-yard pass play in the end zone. That would have won me $100,000. Do you know what would have happened if I won that $100,000? I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be like, fuck you guys. Fuck you. I'm not on this show
anymore. Only that had happened.
What a world. Pete, you were very calm during that sweat. Normally you're a little bit more excited. This feels like the tilt space right now. When's the tilt space, Pete?
The tilt space is 6:30 p.m. Eastern every Sunday. Smash the subscribe and turn on the notification bell.
Oh boy.
Josh Hermsmeyer, don't tell me it's bad beat story time. Dalton Schultz was in the air yards by low model, Josh. Have you ever heard of that? Have you ever heard about a guy that gets so much opportunity but doesn't produce that he ends up in a buy low model? Is this a concept you understand? How about we redact Dalton Schultz? Because that's what I'd like to do to him right now. Let's give him the AJ Green treatment. You won't say AJ Green's name, but I will. AJ Green, you touted him, not me.
Anything interesting in the betting markets, LaMarca?
No, we went over that already, but I respect you trying to get this shit back on track. The over-under, I will say there's we didn't talk about that. Does seem that there's a bit of a sharp lean on the underside. That's getting about 12% more dollars than spread tickets. So the number here is dropped from 47 to 46. that kind of goes along with the way I'm thinking about this game. I really think that Washington's defense is going to, be able to put pressure on Andy Dalton. And we know what happens when you put pressure on Andy Dalton. He is not a good quarterback. So again, I like Washington getting the 3 points. And I'm pretty much fading Dallas even on a 2-game slate. I might have some one-off wide receiver pieces. You've mentioned Michael Gallup being very cheap. He's popping as one of the best plays on the slate. But other than that, I will not be rolling out any Andy Dalton stacks because I just don't see any upside there.
Send me a dad.
Send.
Send it.
It's sent.
I'm not. Did you send it?
Oh, no. Wait, I'm sorry. I got to fill out a lineup first.
Send it. I dare you.
I'm telling you right now.
I dare you.
It's a free head-to-head because I don't want to pay any rake on it.
No. Okay, what?
We're negotiating on the side, but I'm not paying rake.
Okay, that's fair. What are we betting on the side?
Whatever you want.
I will pull out a Chris Benjamin.
A Benji?
You want to go a Benji? Let's play LaMarca versus me head-to-head GPP on this 2-gamer slate. I dare you.
Why don't you guys build your lineups right now?
Here, give me shake. I need you to shake on this $100. Done.
Dunzo.
Well, you know what, Pete? You just gave me an idea. I think both of you guys should make your lineup right now and play a head-to-head right now. We'll do a lineup builder. Here, hang on.
This is what we have to do. Our lineup has to get locked in right now. Are you down with that?
I'm cool with it. Let's do it.
All right, let me pull this up.
Pete,
are we doing it like a draft, like the cage match? Are we ripping off Al Smizzle's format?
No.
Or are we just building our teams?
There's no Jets players on this slate, so we can't do a cage match.
Okay.
Hang on real quick before we do this. Why don't we have Holka recap? How did your cage match go against Smith?
I thought we agreed that last week was P. Ryan week. This week is no longer P. Ryan week. Is that not confirmed?
P. Ryan is out for at least 3 weeks, so it's definitely not P. Ryan week.
I lost, Pete. Is that what you want me to say?
All right, let's do it. Let's do it cage match style. We'll rip off a Smiz, and I'll deal with him putting a filter on his, TikTok where he's saying we stole his idea. I will face those consequences. I will deal with Smiz here.
Perfect.
You go first, LaMarca. I'll give you the first play.
All right, I'll make it easy for you because I know you have no interest in him. I'm going to take Deshaun Watson.
All right, take Deshaun Watson. What a fish. What an absolute fish. All right, I'll take Terry McLaurin. Let's go.
That's a good pick.
All right.
Yeah, no shit. Dude. This is how I make a living. This is
how I win. You're the human embodiment of that Uncut Gems gif.
All right, right now we got Watson, Terry McLaurin so far.
No, but this is individually, not together. He has Watson. I have Terry McLaurin.
Correct. It's your pick again, Pete. Since you took the number one pick,
you're right. I get to go right back to the well.
Hey, Pete.
Right?
Hey, I know a little something about number one overall picks. All right, I know how this works.
All right, let's gamble. Clackety clack. I'm taking DeAndre Swift.
All right.
Okay.
Need to put Dallas or Detroit in the slate. There you go, Joe. All right.
Your turn, LaMarca. Your move.
Yeah. I am aware.
Yeah, but you're shaking. You're terrified.
Not even a little bit scared. Give me Brandon Cooks and Will Fuller.
You only get one. Now it goes back and forth. Snake draft.
Now it's wow.
So which one do you want?
Maybe I knew that.
Which one do you want?
And maybe I was throwing a decoy. I want Cooks.
All right.
So wait, did he take Cooks over Will Fuller?
Correct.
I did.
Some people will say that you can't play Will Fuller uncorrelated with Deshaun Watson, but some people don't know the game theory that goes into a head-to-head GPP. Will Fuller is my selection. You've been cucked, LaMarca.
That I have.
All right. Since salary just doesn't matter on this slate, I guess we can just keep picking those guys.
Pretty much does not matter.
Back to you, LaMarca.
Yep. I want Antonio Gibson.
You know what we should have done? We should have done a 3-way here. What were we thinking? I'm just sitting here clicking stuff. I could have made a team too. We could have done a 3-way, the first ever 3-way cage
I only
match.
want drunk Pete right now. I don't want any of you.
Yeah, Holka, you're the dude that is watching two people have sex on the side, and you're just like, oh, this is awesome.
This is awesome. Okay. Sure.
I'm gonna take Zeke. I heard that the pricing doesn't matter on this slate. I can just jam in the best plays. Let's do it.
I've heard that too. I think taking Watson might have been a mistake.
It might have, but you weren't on my level. And what did we bet, Holka? What's on the record? This is $100 head-to-head GPP.
A Chris Pundy. Not just any.
Is that what we went with? All right, fair enough.
I'll send you my Venmo, LaMarca.
All right, LaMarca, to you.
So,
are you guys keeping track on like
which I'm keeping track of my team? Okay, cool. I'm sure Peter isn't.
Are you kidding? I'm building my lineup in front of my eyes. I can tell you LaMarca's team right now. It's Watson, it's Gibson, and it's two other guys I can't remember.
It's just one, and it's Brandon Cooks.
Okay, who's your fourth guy?
All right, I will take Marvin Jones.
What a fit.
What a bring back. I don't know, Pete. I think there's people, if you're on the cage match, people just put the odds up in there. I was like the heavy dog the entire time, but I don't know. I like LaMarca's team so far.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, feel free to buy him out of his losing share because I'm about to jam Amari Cooper.
Oh, now I feel great about my team.
Interesting.
Do it, LaMarca. Let's see how great you feel.
All right. Hawkinson.
Oh, great. Yeah. I don't know if you know, but his toe fell off.
He's playing. 100% that dude is playing.
Some of us are setting up a quadruple stack with Andy Dalton. But your tight end is already filled, so I don't even have to worry about that.
I could double it up in the flex.
You could, but you won't.
I could, but you're right.
Did you pick Duke Johnson yet?
I haven't.
Well, guess what? I just jammed Duke Johnson into my flex, you fish.
Good. I don't even like Duke Johnson.
Good. You shouldn't because he's perfect leverage. Are there two perfect leverage plays off of Deshaun Watson other than Will Fuller and Duke Johnson? You just got cucked, dude.
All right.
Beta cuck.
Washington defense, Joseph.
Oh, baby.
Washington defense. Oh, what a fish play. What a fish play. Tight end, Dalton Schultz.
Oh, baby. I thought you didn't want to take Schultz because LaMarca is just not going to jam in two tight ends.
No, I
knew he wouldn't. The thesis of this decision doesn't make sense to me, Pete.
Look at Tony Porcelli in the chat. Pete's team is way better. No shit. I was born for this. LaMarca, I'm taking LaMarca on a dog walk. I put him on his leash. I'm taking LaMarca on a walk.
Did Pete take CeeDee Lamb yet?
No, go for it.
No, he did not.
All right, I'll take CeeDee Lamb.
Oh, great. You watch ESPN Top 10 highlights. Good pick, LaMarca.
All right, you have a quarterback and a defense to pick, Pete.
Yeah, I'll take a defense. You want to see a leverage play? Do you want to see a leverage play? Actually, I don't. I will take the Dallas defense.
Okay.
Wait, I just realized what that left me at QB. I take that back. I take it back.
No take backs.
Yes, take back. I take it back.
I don't think you can play a quarterback unless we let him take it back.
Take it back. It's fine. I'm winning anyway.
I play the Lions defense.
All right, LaMarca, do you running back or flex?
I am going to go with the sharp lineup construction this week, which is both Washington running backs.
Ooh.
So I'll be taking J.D. McKissick.
Yeah? What is that? Is that an XL condom or is that just a standard condom?
You know me. It's XL.
I set you up for that. Whatever. I'm going to raw dog it with Andy Dalton. Let's go.
There it is. LaMarca, flex.
All right.
You got 6,900 left. Nice.
I can do literally whatever I want.
Indeed.
Well, let's go with Kiki. Do you love me? Are you riding? Kiki in my flex now.
3,500 on the table for LaMarca.
All right, fine. Don't need it. Donate it to charity.
All right. I just got the invite from LaMarca. I have inputted this lineup and accepted it. $100 head-to-head with Matt LaMarca.
Yeah. In retrospect, I would have done some things differently, but I still feel okay about this.
Pete,
Good.
This is where you ask the people to put in the comments, which team do you think is going to win? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, look, I know how engagement works. I know how this works. Tell me, which team do you like better? Holka will say, put 1s for LaMarca, 2s for Peter. No, just write Peter. Just write Peter in the chat. Just write Peter, 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 and we'll all say, you're right, Peter.
Well, on that note, I guess since I still have to fix your hamster wheel internet every 2 seconds, I think we're good to
My
go now.
internet is fine, dude. My internet is firing. I am downloading gigabytes of porn simultaneously as we speak. Do not slander my internet.
All right. You guys going to remember these 2 teams? What GPP is this going in? You guys got to play something also.
We already accepted. I accepted his head-to-head invite.
Okay.
My team is perfectly suited for a GPP, so I will be throwing it in.
A lot of Peters in the chat. A lot of Peters in the chat.
This is the old Holka thing where you make a lineup on Wednesday in a head-to-head GPP, and then you put it in a $500 millionaire event.
It's a good thing that the slate starts tomorrow then, Pete.
Oh, look at 2ConMan2 says, people are so bad at cage matches, never take a QB first.
Listen, this was my first cage match. I will accept the fact that I made a mistake by taking Watson first, but I just think that the raw point differential between Watson and every other quarterback is going to dwarf the raw point production between any running back 1, 2, and any wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2. Deshaun's going for 30 plus. No other quarterback may crack 18.
And what happens when Fuller gets all those points? I'll tell you what happens.
Look at that sweater, Pete.
Thank you.
Good for you.
Thank you. It's a very nice sweater. I appreciate that. Are we done here?
We can.
I need to take a 2-hour nap before my next show.
I'm gonna say a prayer for you tonight, Pete. I don't pray, but I'm gonna find the time to do it for you.
Please do. Please do. We'll one question from the chat. If you have a question about this slate, we'll answer one question in one question only.
Stella says whoever loses the cage match has to make an OnlyFans.
Ooh.
LaMarca, trust me, I've seen LaMarca's OnlyFans.
I've put a little skin on display on the internet before.
Well, no one wants to ask us a question. They apparently don't think we know anything about this slate.
You know?
I have to pee so bad.
All right. End screen up, Pete. There you go.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning in to one of the most professional shows we've ever done on the Line Movement channel. We thank you for supporting us, for believing in us, for tailing our picks, and for never being upset about anything bad that we touted that didn't work out. That's what we love about you guys. And we want you to have a happy Thanksgiving. We want you to hold your loved ones close, but your enemies closer, except that there's COVID. So keep them at a nice distance. And we hope that whatever Thanksgiving food you like, whether that is sweet potatoes, whether that's mom's pecan pie, whether that's gizzard, whether that's stuffing, whether that's cranberry sauce, whether that's white meat, whether that's dark meat, whether that's sweet potato yams, whether that's butternut squash, whether that's mashed potatoes, whether that's baked potatoes, whether that's light meat, whether that's medium meat, whether that's gravy, whether that's wine, whether that's beer, whether that's water, if you're sober. We are supportive of all of those decisions. And thank you for tuning in to the Line Movement channel. Please smash the subscribe button on your way out. For Matt LaMarca, for Joel Holka, my name is Peter Overzet, and I pray I'm not divorced at the end of this night. We'll see you guys next time.